Chapter 3, Play Ball. Baseball has a language of its own, featuring at-bats, bloopers, chin music, dingers, error, force outs, going yard, homers, infield flies, jacks, Ks, lineups, middle relievers, no-hitters, outfielders, pop flies, quick pitches, RBIs, southpaws, triples, upper decks, visiting teams, wind-ups, yips, XBHs, extra base hits, and zones. It's no surprise that the sport known as America's pastime since the late 1800s has become a part of the lexicon across virtually every aspect of our culture. Even those with little to no interest in baseball would understand whether an event was a, quote, home run or if someone struck out. You may not need the exact price up front, but would be willing to settle for a, quote, ballpark figure. Or if a close friend needed your help, you'd probably be willing to, quote, go to bat for them. Finally, you might be expecting one thing only to have someone throw you a curveball and surprise you. The spoken language of baseball permeates our culture. And yet, what is fascinating is that every baseball game also features an unspoken language used to deliver messages throughout the game from the first pitch until the final out. This language may be much less obvious to the casual observer, yet it is critical to every baseball game. We're talking about signs. At any one time, there are upwards of 19 people in motion on the baseball field during a game. There are 9 fielders on defense, 1 batter, and up to 3 runners on offense, 2 base coaches, and 4 umpires. Keep in mind, that only includes those on the field. Each team also has a dugout housing a manager, assistant coaches, and a total of 25 players on the active roster. I wasn't a math major, but I can tell you that all of those numbers add up to one thing: communication. Like anything else in life, the ability to communicate during a baseball game often distinguishes those who are successful from those who suffer defeat. A strategy is required to choreograph the action on the field, and therefore instructions must be delivered throughout the game. So why is much of this instruction delivered via unspoken messages? Well, consider this. A batter steps up to home plate and awaits the first pitch. The catcher hollers out to the pitcher, "Our scouting report says that this guy has trouble hitting a curveball. Let's throw him a curveball outside and see if we can get him to swing and miss." Meanwhile, the base coach for the offense is hollering to the batter, "Swing away at the first pitch." Finally, the pitch is thrown. Since the batter knows which pitch is coming, he waits on the curveball and he hits it hard. The fielders must try to throw the ball to first base before the batter gets there. It's a very close call, but the umpire is yelling that the batter is safe. Unfortunately, the crowd is roaring because it was a close play. Neither the fielders nor the crowd know what the ruling is. As you can see, some verbal communication during the game just won't cut it. Leonard Schechter of the New York Post compared a batter that knew which pitch was coming to the driver who knocks down, quote, the driver who knocks down an 89-year-old pedestrian. It's easy but unsporting. Teams can gain a strategic advantage if they can silently deliver instructions without the opposing team intercepting those messages. Let's revisit our example and replace verbal communication with the silent language of baseball. A catcher choreographs the defense on a baseball field, much like a conductor choreographs an orchestra. His position involves squatting down behind the batter and shielding his hand so the opponent can't see it. He and the pitcher have a prearranged code system. 1 finger signals a fastball. 2 fingers signals a curveball. 3 fingers signals a changeup. He shows 2 fingers signaling for the curve. The pitcher nods in agreement. With the pitch set, the catcher slides over toward the outside of the strike zone to signal where he wants the pitch thrown. The infielders also know this code system. They see that the pitch is a curveball and that the catcher is setting up toward the outside of the strike zone. The infielders also flash a hand signal to pass the message along to the outfielders, who are too far away from the catcher to see the original sign. With no word spoken, the entire field of 9 defensive players know what pitch is coming, where the ball is most likely to be hit. They shift their positions to put themselves in the best spot to get the batter out. While all of this is happening, the offensive team has its own stream of communication. The manager in the dugout is communicating with the coach that's out on the field. That coach is then delivering signs to the batter and any runners who are on base. Finally, after the ball is hit and the play is made, it's up to the umpire to rule whether the batter is safe or out. Rather than relying on voice alone, the umpire signals safe, stretching out both arms horizontally with hands open. Both teams, the other umpires, and the entire crowd instantly know the call. Deciphering codes in the name of gaining a strategic advantage is a critical part of the game. Consider how much information, how many instructions are delivered silently with this play. And keep in mind, this all occurs during one pitch of a game. An average Major League Baseball game has approximately 294 pitches thrown and runs over 3 hours long. During the course of an average baseball game, there are upwards of 1,000 silent instructions given and received. That's from The Hidden Language of Baseball, the introduction to that book. These signs vary from team to team and even from player to player. These codes can be changed regularly, whether it be to different signals or different meanings. The gestures can vary in every conceivable way, and yet there's one common thread that ties all of these signs together. The common element, and this is for your sheet, the common element to 100% of the signs given during a baseball game is that they all come from minds. I am yet to hear of a baseball player report that they were told to swing at a pitch by their baseball bat. I am yet to hear of a baseball glove that instructed a fielder what their assignment was on a given play. Mindless matter has never been observed to create messages, even simple messages, which leads us to takeaway number 3. Takeaway 3 is that instructions require intelligence. Scientists call DNA the instruction book of life. The chemicals in DNA literally make up a genetic alphabet, which encodes instructions for building and replicating all living things. In other words, DNA is not just chemicals. It's a language, and it is unimaginably complex. For example, the instructions written in this genetic alphabet for a, quote, simple single-celled amoeba are the equivalent to the amount of information in 1,000 encyclopedias. That's from the introduction of I Don't Have Enough Faith to Be an Atheist. And this isn't random information. It's in a specific order that makes up the unique genetic makeup of that living thing. If we know inherently that a simple code like 2 pointed fingers which signals a curveball requires a mind to design it, how much more so would that apply to a complex code? This DNA code within every person, if laid out end to end, would go to the sun and back numerous times. Matter is unable to create a code system. If we know inherently that even simple instructions require a mind to design them, how much more so would that apply to complex instructions? There are 10 billion miles of DNA instruction in all the cells of your body. Am I to believe that mindless chemicals somehow produced the instructions? In other words, the book for life wrote itself? I am yet to hear of a bag of sunflower seeds that sent a strategic message to a baseball coach. So again, we are left to consider our options. 1, if there is a God, the instruction book for life, DNA, was designed by God. 2, if there is no God, the instruction book for life made itself and is written by mindless chemicals. And we'll update our chart.